where people would have their last look at Venice before they were sent down to prison.
Forever. Venice.
Venetia!
The city of canals.
I love Venice. I've been there twice. I went for the first time over 10 years ago and then really fell in love with it. I thought I wasn't going to like it. I thought it was going to be tourist trappy. But the secret there is to go either in the early spring or to go in the late autumn, and you miss the peak tourist season. So you get a lot of Venice to yourself, which I think just makes it such a different experience. So romantic. All the little bridges, all the water you're surrounded by.
Well, you start off by getting into a boat, you know.
Just leaving the airport and it smells like the sea.
Going to the water.
Gonna catch a boat taxi to Venice.
You know, we decided to go the boat route first and get boated in the evening. So that was really special.
And we got in, and of course it was dark, so we're like carrying our suitcases over some cobblestone, and I think we got turned around a little bit.
It took us forever to find our hotel.
It totally did.
Because we were using Google Maps, but then we also used the signs, and the buildings are so connected that it wasn't like a standalone address. It was like a kind of a regional address, but it was behind everything that we thought it was. So I think we passed it like 5 times.
And the streets of Venice are very confusing. And I think we were just like, let's walk around, let's stretch our legs. And it was really fun. People were like eating pizza everywhere, and there was music.
It was really breathtaking in terms of going up and down each one of the bridges over the canals and seeing how people that live in Venice, you know, really live.
It's so unique. Where else is there a city literally built on the water?
I think most of it's built around the tourism industry. And the funniest thing I love about Venice is they have this love-hate with tourism. They love our money, but they hate that we're there.
This one's here. How the Boutroses roll.
If you want to stare up at the ceiling for an hour and a half while you're walking,
That's
go to the
so true.
Dojo's Palace and just look around. I mean, it's breathtaking views, absolutely breathtaking views. Every single thing there was so meticulously done, from the ceiling all the way down to the floor. And it, you know, I don't know how much money went into that thing or how many years. Look at the ceiling. Look at this place. This room is probably 60 by 200. It's incredible. It's all gold leaf on the ceilings, and there's full murals. Amazing. Every room is like this almost. That's where the Bridge of Sighs is. It's connected to the main palace, and it also goes over to the dungeon, which you can tour. You can walk through all of it.
Yeah.
And we got to go inside and do the whole tour and everything. It's surreal when you see it from the inside, where the prisoners were.
The Bridge of Sighs is actually where the prisoners would go when they were sentenced to life in prison, and it would be their very last look at the world before they went down and kind of into a dank, dull, maybe no more sunlight or direct sunlight anyway.
Very small little prison holes, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so they would call it the Bridge of Sighs because they'd say prisoners would look out and see their last glance at the world and sigh, and then they'd never be seen again.
We found a bar, and that's where they invented Bellini. We are about ready to partake in Bellini, the place that created the first Bellini.
Yes, in 1948 by Mr. Cipriani. This is the original location. Same 30 for my nachos 31. This is the first supreme.
Amazing. It'll be good.
This place, amongst the other things, was invented Bellini carpaccio.
It is.
Cheers, baby.
That was nice.
Wow.
That's very nice. Life experiences are worth paying for.
And I remember the first, actually, when we got in, again with the kind of jet lag piece, we got in and you woke up early and then woke me up. And I think it was like 5 o'clock and
No, it was like 3.
Oh, it was like 3 o'clock.
3 a.m. I said, I'm up. Let's go.
And he's like looking at all the maps and planning out the day. And I'm like, whoa, it's a little early. But then I was like, yep, let's do it. Let's go out. And we were staying in this really nice hotel. And the guy up at the concierge, he was like, nothing's open right now.
But we just walked over, and I actually didn't plan on going over to the very specific bridge where you can see the cathedral on the side, and the kind of ocean river comes in and starts to form the canals. But we found ourselves there, and we had sunrise, and it was just the most beautiful reflection of the water, and the boats were going underneath and
It was magical.
back and forth.
There's a lot of good history there. I know we took some pictures with this little statue that has a history of being stolen throughout wars.
This is the most bullied statue. It's picked on, stolen, picked apart.
It was stolen and then stolen back and then stolen back again.
And then someone stole one of the arms.
And then you could see they stole his foot.
And they took his foot.
I don't know why. You
was
know,
like-
the things people care about.
It was like a war practical joke.
It was like a rivalry between UCLA and USC.
Just attached to the church, and they're the purple men. They get stolen, and they have a story of being taken and separated, and and they found them all and put them all back together, kind of like Humpty Dumpty.
Some of our favorite experiences were that first night at St. Mark's Square, hearing all the music.
Yeah, and going
then
into the Danieli.
Yeah.
So,
definite
if you're
highlights.
going to go walk into the Danieli, you got to pretend like you belong there. And you don't go wander around and you're like, oh, look, and you're drooling,
Yeah.
You have to, I paid $1,000 a night, and you walk in like a boss. And when we went, I'm pretty sure they were denying people breakfast. And we're like, excuse me, where's breakfast?
Hey guys, this is your 2-minute tour of Venice. We are currently at Hotel Danieli, which I have stayed at previously and I really love it here. It's right on the water. We're just having a nice breakfast buffet up at the top level with this gorgeous view. It's beautiful. The weather's perfect.
And it was like, oh, you belong here. Okay.
It does help that I had been there the previous trip, that I'd
Yeah.
actually stayed there. There's actually also a really nice restaurant on the bottom floor, but we were like the rooftop restaurant. And they were like right here in this elevator, and you get in and there's of course this building is so old, guys.
It was an elevator smaller than a desk.
Really, it was like you gotta be really comfortable with getting really close to people if
Yeah.
you're gonna ride this elevator with anybody else. You really feel like you're in a piece of history.
If you're like, oh, I don't want to spend $80 on a gondola ride, suck it up. You've made it to Venice.
Yeah.
Ride a gondola.
Yeah.
Don't just skip out on the most memorable experiences. It's worth it.
And you can pick if you want a short ride or a longer ride, how much you want to see. But going under the Bridge of Sighs, I know that was always memorable. There's such a strong history there. But then just kind of seeing Venice from the canals is so different than seeing it on land. And I think that's the thing that I really loved about Venice, that I love about Venice in the end, right? Is that when you're in Venice, you know it. You are having the Venetian experience.
Oh, you're there. It's in your face, but you love it though.
Yeah.
And while you're there, it's like every single thing that you do is Venetian. It's different.
And there are options for vegan gelato, which just made my day because I was like, we're here, we're in Venice, and yeah, there's some vegan gelato.
One thing I would suggest if you're going to eat somewhere, go eat inside, because if you're there, there's 1,000 years of history inside those walls.
Yeah.
And the paintings and the way they kept everything. It's so beautiful. You can always walk around outside and eat outside because it's nice weather. perfect weather when we were there.
It was, yeah.
But just looking inside, it's like you're in an art museum. Don't just, see everything from the outside.
With you. So if you love to travel in the US or abroad, I encourage you, click that subscribe button because we're going to be sharing a lot of insider tips coming up.
And smash that like button if you like this video.